Hey guys, Adam here, and I'm with my little kid number 2. You want to say hi?
Hi.
Alright, so this video has the ALG Defense trigger install for the IWI Galil. This has been a long time coming for this video. The install definitely takes a little bit of time, so make sure you watch the video once or twice and then attempt to install. There's a roll pin you're probably going to have to install in your gun. I was hoping I wouldn't have to for mine, but I ended up having to install it. Had to reassemble everything, install and then reassemble it. This definitely took me a little bit of time. About 1 a.m. I was finally getting done for starting at like 10. But again, it takes some sanding, some filing on that roll pin to get everything set where you want it to be. So definitely worth the money. The ALG Defense trigger for the IWI Galil. The Galil's trigger normally is pretty good as it comes stock, but this is definitely a good upgrade. Brings it down to about 3.5 pounds, and in my opinion, definitely worth it because it's a very crisp break compared to the stock trigger, even though the stock trigger is very good. Because I usually get questions asked. Cerakote by Victor's Legacy in Fairport, Ohio. Holosun 510 on top. These are the Strike Industry rail covers and the Strike Industries King Comp, which you guys know. I've been running a lot lately on a lot of my guns is that King Comp. I really enjoy it. So that's the gun. Install videos coming. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks guys. Why don't you say bye?
Bye.
See you later. Alright, let's go ahead and start this install. So first things first, take off that top rail, push in this part back here, and you're going to want to push in and down if you can. There we go. Top rail comes off. Alright, this portion here, pull back, pull up. And you'll be careful, there's a telescoping rod in here, so you want to pull it out nice and easy, you don't want to bend it too much. Get that out. Next things next is the charging handle and the piston. There you go. And then of course you have that, comes right off. That sits in some interlocking rails down here. Alright, so next thing we got here, let's get stuff out of the way. Mine's obviously dirty. Alright, so go ahead and take your flathead screwdriver and you're going to take out the screw in the bottom here. I'm not going to waste your time by trying to get a good picture of it. Let's see if that's out yet. Not all the way. Alright, that bolt comes out right there. Set that aside. Alright, now you're also going to screw right here. I already have this out because I'm looking to do some chop on this. But that's going to allow you to take this whole portion off right here. First thing I do though, see that safety selector right there? The portion in here, we're going to go to this camera over here. So this guy right here, that's where that screw just went through. So the screw went through. Let me try to focus a little more. So the screw went through right in there. So we got to take this out. Now, it's not easy to do, and it's actually indexed on this bar right here. And the bar comes down to this. So if you push up on this bar, it pushes up this whole thing. And then, in essence, you just wiggle it out of there. And then that comes out. Alright? Now, this is where it's a little more interesting. You're going to use the safety selector on this side. Again, I'm going to go to this camera right here. And try to make sure you guys can see it. So this portion right here is moving. And it's on this bar right here. Alright? And the bar is on this portion of the safety selector. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this safety selector, we're going to twist it to the safe, and then a little bit more. Now it comes out, and you're going to kind of rotate up and out like this, and then it comes out. Alright, now this portion right here is now free to come out as well, but what you're going to have to do is now you have these screws out, this whole portion actually comes off. So there you go. Alright, so there's your safety selector on this side. There's where the bars I was talking about. There's where that screw came through. into your grip where this bolt was stuck through. That's the bar it went onto. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and dive in to actually removing the trigger. So let me get that stuff ready and then we'll come back to it. Alright guys, we're back and we're going to go ahead and take care of taking out the trigger group, which is right here. Alright, so now one thing I see a lot of people do is they start wailing on these two pins on this side, because you can see they come out on this side. And that's a big no-no. And the reason is, I'm going to go to this camera again. See that little P-shaped metal wire right there? Right there. That guy actually holds in both these pins. He runs over top of this one and hooks into a groove and runs underneath this one and through a groove. Actually locks it in place. So one thing you want to do, cock your hammer back to make it easier. Go ahead and hook your punch or whatever you're using. I use a punch for these. And hook your punch on it. Try to get through that ring. And pull that guy out. Look at that. So, hooks over top of this one. Oops. And underneath that one. Just like that. It actually makes it so you can't get them out without taking this off. Sorry guys, I'm trying to actually look like it would. There we go. So it runs like that. So take that out. Alright, now you're going to want to release your hammer. If for some of your hammer is not releasing, check the braided wire, this wire on both sides. This piece oftentimes can run, sorry this thing's trying to focus on 1,000 things. Can run underneath here and block it up. So take your punch, whatever you're using, push it through this side, take that pin out, go ahead, take your hammer out. Alright, now I got this one right here. It's ready to go. I will say I've done mine once before. This usually takes a lot of force to get out. I've used the hammer punch, you know, using a hammer in your punch to get this out before, because it's literally in there that tough. And I have to do it again. I thought I had it loose enough that I could do a video. This video, the ones on this one, it's probably going to shudder a little bit because it's hooked up to this bench. But it's time to get out of there. Alright. Alright. There's that one. Here's this guy. You're going to see your spring underneath them. See the spring? Alright. And this guy I usually just take out. There you go, just gotta wobble them out. There's your trigger and the spring. Alright, so next thing's next. We're gonna move on to the install. Catch you guys in a second. Alright guys, so I reassembled everything. And I went to check the safety because there are these little roll pins that you get with the kit. Here's one of them. You get two of them, just in case. And it says if you can still fire the gun when the safety's on, you got to install a roll pin in the trigger right here. And pretty much you got to hammer it in there or whatever you want. You can squeeze it with pliers and stuff, and it goes a little easier. And you know those pliers. Then you got to sand it down or grind it down and file it down, whatever, until it works. I was hoping mine didn't have to. I put everything back together, and sure enough, yes, mine did require me to put that in because on safe the gun would fire. It is now close to 1 a.m. and I finally got everything where it should be. This has been one of the harder trigger installs to do. It's not even that complicated. It's just taking everything apart and taking time to do it. So anyways, there's my roll pin right here. That's what's filed down to, grind down to. It's probably about like that when it started. So I mean, I did a good chunk of it. So, and the reason for that is this. So your safety's right here, and when it would come over, there was enough of a gap, because that's about where it is, that's about where it stops. This could still fire when this was on safe. And obviously when you're at fire, it'd go by itself, but when it's on safe, it wasn't hitting enough, and it'd actually fire. So I knew it was an option going in. I was just hoping it didn't happen to me, but it did. My last video, the video before, I'm not really going to show, because mostly me cursing just that existence of that need that roll pin after I put everything back together. So anyways, let's put it all back together. So the trigger, disconnector spring. Put that in there. Oops. Heyo. Put that in the disconnector, and then it goes in that little detent right there. Okay. And then all I do is I just kind of hold these together, and we put it down in. It's going in this hole right here. See it? All right. I take my little 5mm punch, and I kind of find where this thing hopefully is going to sit, and I ride the punch through it. All right. Take our pin, goes in through this side, and again you want to hold pressure with this as you push this in, because you want them to meet, and you don't want to lose any ground as you're doing this. And I tend to lose it every time right at that second side of the disconnector, but there we go. Alright, and then there. Alright, so you can see it in there. So there's the disconnector. Make my little punch here. So there's the disconnector. This is the actual trigger. That's the roll pin that we put in. Here's that bar from the pin that goes in. Alright, so next thing's next, the hammer. Remember, this portion of the spring is going to face the rear of the gun. Alright, so again, I like to feed everything up through here. And as mentioned before, guys, not mentioned before, I'm not going to show you the video where I ended up losing it at the end when I realized I needed the roll pin. These wires right here, they're going to end up going inside of here. And I'll show you when we do that. Let them go past it though, because it makes getting this hammer in here a whole lot easier. What you're going to have to do is get your other pin. It's got to go through there. And so alright. Now that pin is in, we're going to take the wires, and pop them into place. So take your flathead screwdriver and just kind of pop that one in there. There you go. You don't want to ride on that roll pin. It's going to cause you problems. You guys probably saw mine on there the first time it latched onto that roll pin. Alright, so there's the second wire right there. There's another one. See how they're inside of that silver lining from the trigger. They're not outside of it. Alright, then hammer back. It's going to make putting the pin capture in place. So again, remember, this thing sits kind of like this. So you got to feed it underneath this one, and it's got to sit on top of this one. Now, one thing to be mindful of: these springs, or the coils right here. You got to have these away from the side of the frame. So it means to see how tight they are to the frame for this to go in. So what I usually do is I start it through the back, because the back one, nothing happens with that one. Just slides in. And then what I do is I take the flathead screwdriver, and I get it between those coils and this thing, between the pin stop. Sorry guys, this is really hard on camera. And now you can see that it's underneath there. Then you take your punch and just push it into place. And always make sure to pry these up one last time. Make sure this thing is good. See, there we go. Now you can see it's sitting nice and flat underneath there. Sorry as the camera moves, guys. The camera's kind of hooked onto the bench a little bit for this close-up shots that we're doing. Alright, so now put the safety back together. So first things first, get this guy here, and sorry, take that guy out. Put the frame back on there. Alright, safety feeds up and under. Oops, daisy. Feeds up and under, and through, Alright? Now, you can see, here's the arm of that thing. Now, oops. There we go. Alright, so there's the arm of it. Now remember your safety, which is right here. This arm, this portion of the arm that has the hole in it. This hole right here, that arm. That goes on the bottom peg of this. Alright, the top peg, sorry, that's the top peg at the bottom. So that's the bottom peg. The top peg goes in this hole right here. It's also kind of your leverage point where all this stuff kind of comes together. So again, the safety, you're just going to kind of feed in through there. And then you got to get it on that bottom peg. Alright, so there we go. See how it's on the bottom peg. And then you got to get the top peg in that hole. And the whole thing just kind of falls in place. Alright? Now we need this guy. This is the one where the screw comes through the grip. This little peg right here goes in the second peg of this arm, which is this portion right here. So if you can see, let me grab a punch here. There is another hole right there in that arm. And best way I can say is just drop this into place. And this goes in that hole right there. Just drop this in. Alright. And once that's in, then fiddle with this arm. Because it kind of just falls right into place almost every time. I've done this a lot tonight, guys. This is like literally my 6th or 7th time putting this thing together. Checking the safety, making sure the roll pin was in place. It was the right side to grind it down. That roll pin, for when you're doing that, all you have to do is have it to the point where this arm is in the safety. You don't need this thing in. And you can just make sure that it doesn't get held up on it. Okay? So let's go ahead and put that screw in there. Get this guy back together. I'm gonna come away from the camera for a second, people. Let's see if I can just kind of get that screw to drop into place. Alright, the screw just kind of fell into place. And remember, when you go to do this, you're going to keep pressure on this piece. That screw just fell out. You're going to keep pressure on this piece because that is the only way to make sure it doesn't fall out. There we go. Make sure it doesn't fall out. I will say, so when I had this thing all the way together, the trigger is super buttery, smooth. I really like it. So anyways, so now we're on safety. Should not fire. Fire. Boom, boom. Alright. So, safe, no fire, fire, fire. First time I did it, maybe I'll do this a blooper, I don't know. I'll edit out the sound. I'm on safe and the thing just goes click and hammer falls and I'm like, what the heck? And it's kind of annoying because I really thought I was going to have to avoid using that roll pin. Alright, so as you'd expect, put the gas tube back in, put in your piston, your BCG, hole cure. Remember not to bend this because there is that telescoping rod in there, guys. Don't screw yourself up here at the last second. And then this guy. Now remember how we got this in, or sorry, out the first time. Put it in a little bit deeper than what you need it. So you see how it's sitting down a little bit low because here's the channel right here that it should go in. See how it's below that? So now we put on the rail, top rail. Top rail fits into place. Tom from IWI taught me this one. Super good trick. Put your thumb against the back of this the top cover, and then rack it. That pops in. Look at that. All right, so fire. No fire. Fire. No fire. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hey guys, it's Adam, and we're out here to test that ALG Defense trigger in the IWI US Galil. So we did the install video, you guys saw that. Now we're going to test her out and see how she runs. So let's do it. Alright, here we go. She seems to run. So there you go. That's that ALG Defense trigger for the IWI US Galil. And as mentioned in the intro video, my neighbor's shooting too. So it's always good when you live in a neighborhood like this. IWI US Galil. Cerakote from Victor's Legacy, Fairport, Ohio. Holosun 510 top. You guys know I'm a huge fan of that one. Midwest Industries rail. It's got the Strike Industries little mini rail covers on them. These things have been fantastic, and they're nice and grippy. And then the King Comp as well from Strike Industries. Become a huge fan of Strike. So, anyways, that's it, guys. Hopefully you guys like the install video. Hopefully it helps you. And if you need anything or have any questions, let me know. Alright guys, see you later.